Hey guys, happy holidays. Listen, this chapter came out of freaking nowhere. Mad early, the schedule's all jacked up. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm glad that we got a chapter before the end of the year. And what a chapter it was. First of all, the color spread. Color spreads are really cool because sometimes Oda likes to hide little Easter eggs in them. In this case, the only thing that really stood out to me was the fact that Sanji, he really does look like he's, not like a pimp, but he's like, yeah, he looks like, wow, like some type of a royalty type figure, even though he's not wearing anything royalty related, aside from the rings on his fingers. But he is holding like a can of coffee. As far as I read, it says something like all women are gifts or something, GI something, I don't know. And then I also noticed how Nami, like apparently she went grocery shopping and she has like a note. So that may symbolize the note that Sanji left her before he left Zou, or it could just be like a grocery list. Now, as a whole, the chapter is very simple, and I think a big part of it you could have already predicted if you were paying attention. So basically, Caesar helps, just remove the poison from Zou. The Straw Hats team up and they help the Minks. They meet Wanda, which, by the way, like, Wanda was, I know she was poisoned and stuff, but she was still trying to attack Nami. Nami does this front flip and immobilizes her. I'm like, oh, Nami's got the moves. Looks like Nami took a self-defense class with the wizards during the time skip. No, but I like it because it just shows that she could take care of herself, even though, Wanda was technically messed up. Wanda looks really gross when she's crying, by the way. Like, everybody in One Piece looks kind of gross when they're crying because it's realistic. Now, the name of the squirrel girl who Sanji saved, we find out in this chapter is Tristan. And we actually get like a different perspective of Sanji knocking out Sheepshead. And something that I didn't notice was the fact that Sheepshead actually has that tattoo, that weird curse mark thing that allows for the partial transformation of a body part. So they heal the Minks, including Beppo. Pedro is there as well. They sort of remove Inuarashi and Nekomamushi from the crosses. And then the flashback just ends, and you're like, wait, what the fuck? Like, we still want to know what happened to Sanji and Caesar. And so we go into present time, and Chopper's like, we gotta go. We gotta go visit the cat. So they go get the crocodiles, and Robin and Frankie are sitting next to each other. Fuck that shit. I know it's gonna happen, but fuck it, I don't like it. Seriously though, Wanda and Carrot reveal that they are both rulers' birds. And so my question to that is, when the fuck do you sleep? Maybe that's what the coffee and the color spread that Sanji was holding meant. That Wanda and Carrot they're gonna overdose on coffee because they need to be hyped up every single day because they don't sleep. It'd be funny if like we just suddenly see Wanda like shaking uncontrollably, like, I need my caffeine. Actually, you know what? We just found out why Carrot can jump so freaking high. So both of them are addicted to Starbucks. And this is my favorite part of the chapter because then Brooke starts like, oh, and I love how it's Zoro, the one who asks, wait a minute, like, you were talking about this, but where's Sanji and Caesar and all of this? Like, what happened? Thank you for speaking out for the fans, Zoro. It's just cool that Oda decided to show that in his own way, Zoro does like care about what happened to Sanji. So, and then Brooke gets on his guitar and he's like, let me tell you a story about why we'll never see Sanji again. Yo! The moment he said, we may never see him again, I was like, I would have been ready to strangle somebody. In fact, my reaction is like equal to that of Luffy in this chapter. He was like, wait, what? Nami, what the fuck? Like, why didn't you tell me the situation with Sanji was this big of a deal? And Nami's like, well, I was going to tell you that it was serious, but then we were told to stretch out the Mink and Jack flashback up till the end of the year, because that way we can make more money. We do get the brief mention of there being a full moon, but they say that they're lucky because it's covered by mist. So I'm wondering if the Minks under Nekomamushi, like, are they some type of like were-minks or something, that they get more vicious with the full moon? Now, the ending of this chapter to me was great because it addressed an issue that I had complained about in one of my previous reviews, which is that when Sanji and the rest left Dressrosa, it kind of made Big Mom's crew look bad. Because it's like, they pulled their little stunt and they're like, wow, they were able to escape the ship of a Yonko. So it kind of made them look like scrubs. Like, it made Peckham's, Tamago, and Capone was there. It made them look like not so good. So the fact that they were able to follow them all the way to Zoe was I got a sense of relief from that. It maintains the sense of severity when dealing with a Yonko. So I like that. Now, another thing here is that this changes the course of the story drastically. Because before this, a lot of people, myself included, we would have assumed that the reason that Sanji left Zoe had something to do with Kaido or Kaido's men or Jack, right? So now it's like, with Big Mom in the picture, it's like, what the fuck? This is turning into a clusterfuck, into a mess. And I mean that in the best way possible because honestly, there's just so much story that Oda has to tell. It's crazy. You don't know what's gonna happen. Listen, all right, let's kick it back a notch. The basics. Answer me this. Who is the antagonist of Zoe? Who is it gonna be? Is it gonna be Jack or Weeble, Whitebeard Jr.? It could even be both of them, but we don't know yet. So that's still up in the air. Another thing is that we were told that after Zoe, the assumption is we go to Wano, all right? Because that's where Kinemon and you know, the Samurai, Raizo, and Kanjiro are from. So we go to Wano. Now, are we still going to Wano after Zoe? I don't know, because what it looks like is that Sanji just got taken in by a Yonko. Now, was Big Mom's crew looking to get Sanji? No, we know for a fact that they weren't. In fact, it's stated that Capone actually says, when we saw like a brief glimpse of him, he said, "Let's go get Caesar, boys." They are after Caesar. Remember, back in Dressrosa, Caesar was afraid of Big Mom's ship because he had borrowed a lot of money from Big Mom so that he could, you know, work on his experiments, and he has not been able to pay her back. So Caesar was the target from the start. Now, the thing about Peckham's being a mink, that to me was obvious, but I think it was a really good idea for Oda to have Peckham's on the ship to begin with, because obviously he would know how to get to Zoe, and he would know, like, okay, this is where we're going for. We're going for this walking elephant, and I know the people there. Now, granted, we do not know what Peckham's relationship with the Minks is right now. We don't know if he left in friendly terms, if he's still cool with them, or if they fucking hate his ass. We don't know that. But what we do know is that Big Mom's ship is no longer there. So how did Sanji get them to leave? Maybe he struck a deal with them. He told them, hey, you want Caesar? Here he is, but just don't fuck with the Minks. Because, you know, he spent time healing them up, befriending them in a way. But then if you remember, like the box that is filled with candies that is going to Big Mom, that's rigged with explosives. So the moment she opens that up, it's going to blow up in her face. And Luffy already told her, like, I'm going to kick your ass. So, you know, the Straw Hats already have beef with Big Mom's crew anyway. So I doubt Peckham's, Tamago, and Capone would have been like, yeah, okay, we'll just get Caesar and leave. No, like, we can't just take Caesar and leave. Because you actually shot at our ship. You fucked, like, part of it up. So we need to mess you up, too. We can't just leave. And then that's when Sanji probably would have been like, okay, well, you know, I'm wanted only alive. I can go with you, and you can, whatever you're gonna do to the Minks or to Zoe, like, don't do it. Just take me with you. And by the way, I'm a really good cook, so I can make, you know, some pretty good sweets for your boss. My point is that I really think that Sanji sacrificed himself for the protection of Zoe. Because if you think about it, the Minks at that point, all of them were in critical condition. Like, they were barely trying to heal up. So an attack coming from the inside at that point in time would have killed them all. And this is the point I was trying to make about it being a clusterfuck, because now we have to go to Wano, all right? We have to go get Sanji, like from what is it called? Big Mom's Island, Whole Cake Island. And then we have the revolutionaries are about to fight the Blackbeard pirates. So it's kind of like, okay, what's gonna come first? What is Oda gonna do with all this stuff? The only way that the flow of the story works out, and I hate to say this, is if the crew ends up splitting up again. All right, I know it sucks, but listen, unless you leave certain Straw Hats in Zoe, all right, and you have other Straw Hats go and get Sanji, that's how I see it working out. And I've already seen some speculation. I've read some comments from you guys saying that you think that in this arc, Zoro, not Luffy, is going to be the one to fight Jack. Zoro has been fighting scrubs ever since he got into New World. And this is a speculation that I've read, that you guys think that he's going to end up taking on Jack. So if the crew splits up again, and you leave Zoro in Zoe to take on Jack, I personally have no problem with it. Also, I think Robin would have to stay in Zoe as well, because it's almost a certainty that there's a poneglyph in there. Another theory I have is that since the elephant is walking, one way that you can avoid having the crew split up is if you have the elephant change its course or walk over to Big Mom's island. That way you can kill two birds with one stone. Anyway, great chapter. Please tell me your thoughts and theories and speculation in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Like the review if you did. I appreciate that. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And thank you for everything, guys.